Welcome back to Life in Style. I'm your girl, Mikali, and we've had an amazing show so far. Right now, though, Brian Suma has joined me, and it's all about Beyond the Sports. And, you know, he's our shoe guy, so that's the first thing we do. We just check out what he's wearing today. And I'm telling you, I'm about jeans, kama kiatu, na khaki pants.
Inaitwa denim, eh?
Oh, denim.
Thank you very much. Fashion forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Someone is learning first.
Yeah, life and style, KTN Life and Style, that's what we are here to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you're not going to talk about my shoe, no? You don't like my shoe? Is it
Today on Beyond the Sport, we're taking a little detour. As in, we've done everything.
Okay.
We've done from sport, football, rugby, basketball,
no?
volleyball, no shoe. As in, we've done everything. We've done everything, basically. But today, onto a sport that has been significant back in the days, back during maybe during the Easter holidays. You used to remember this particular sport. I'm talking about rally. And to you, Mikali, how many rally drivers do you know?
You're very mean, but I'm going to answer you. I know Patrick Njiro. He's a legend.
Your shoes are lovely.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, I remember Patrick Njiro from them days. He was big, and yeah, he knew his thing.
There's one, Ian Duncan, used to drive a pickup. I don't think if, do you remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there was a rally circuit. It was famously known as Safari Rally.
Yes.
Do you remember?
I do, of course I do.
Especially during Good Fridays, Easter holidays.
Yes, you'd stand by side of the road and wait.
Yeah.
Peter, that is a story for the whole
village.
For the whole village, yes. When you go back to school, that's the only conversation you have.
Yeah, because back in the day, it used to be done in the terrains, those places, you know, those tough terrains. And today we have a legend who has experienced it all. Who am I talking about? His name is Azza Anwar. Many of might know him for various things that he's done in the sport. But I met him and did something small. But before we go to that feature, which I did, if you have missed all the features that we've done previously, you can catch them on YouTube. Just type KTN Life and Style Beyond the Sport, and everything will come on your screen.
Absolutely.
But for now, Azza Anwar. In life, we have legends everywhere. And today on Beyond the Sport, we have one such legend. Who am I talking about? This guy has revolutionized the sport of rallying here in Kenya. He's built cars from scratch. He's made his own spare parts. Who am I talking about? Follow me to find out. And here he is, the person I've been looking for. One, Mr. Azza Anwar. How are you, sir?
Hi, bro.
I'm quite okay.
Karibu.
Asante sana. Karibu Beyond the Sport.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I told you I'd come one day. I'm here now. Let me say hi to you. Hi, my name is Brian Evans. You're with this great legend here. So, tell us, what do you have here?
This is my sort of motorsport workshop. And specialized work suspensions and things like that. In fact, that's what we were just discussing with Kavisi. He's got a rally car, he wants to start rallying, and he's having a problem getting good rally suspensions, and they're very expensive. So we're looking at an option which is more affordable, but still reliable, that he can manage to develop his driving and come up to a level where then it becomes worthwhile to buy the top brand.
Yeah. Talking of repairing and building things from scratch, you're known to have done so many things of the such, because you've developed a car from scratch. Maybe you can tell us a bit about that before we go into rallying, the rallying world in general.
You know, I've been trying to tell the motorsport world here in Kenya that the way forward and the way for enthusiasts to get more opportunity to get into motorsport is that as a nation, as Kenya, we need to build up an industry, a motorsport industry. We need to build our own things here locally. so that more people get an opportunity. It is more affordable and it is more suitable for, we get a very expensive, let's say, a vehicle from overseas. Doesn't mean it's the best for here. Our conditions are a bit harsh and they are tough. Our rallies are different. So if we do it here locally, we do the development locally, automatically it works and it's affordable.
I can see behind you there are a few trophies. Do they remind you of your glory days, or what are these trophies made for?
To be frank, I have so many trophies. They are lying all over the workshops. I have even forgotten. I'll have to actually read here to see which event was it, which year was it. 40 years of racing and winning most of the time.
And that's why I call you a legend, because you are a legend. It's not something which comes really easily, or especially in Kenya. Maybe people will see this is a Muhindi. This is a Muhindi because of your skin. Maybe you can clarify, for how many years have you been in Kenya? How many years have you raced in the circuit? Because I think this is evidence enough, and you've told us there's more which you're going to see.
Much.
Yes,
tell us. All over the other workshop, this one, home, offices, they're lying everywhere. First, about my background and who I am.
Yeah.
I consider myself totally Kenyan, first thing. The reason being, I'm born here, my parents are born here. Hindi, wherever it is, I've not been there.
So you don't know Punjab?
No connections with it. Okay, I speak Punjabi, which is like my mother tongue.
Yes.
That's more of a cultural thing, like somebody might speak Kikuyu or Luya or whatever, but mimi ni Mwafrika bwana.
Mwafrika kabisa. Daily, unasema daily hujafika hata hujui hata iko wapi.
Hapo sijui.
Hapo sijui.
Well, this is the last rally car that I have been using. It has done very well for us. We have run with Julius Ngigi. You know Julius, my navigator, is actually a senior pastor of a church. And me, they call me the sheikh. That's what I've always, both of us, we are very passionate about two things. One is this interracial, intercultural, interreligious togetherness.
Unity,
There's no reason we can't be best of friends, and he's still a good staunch Christian and I'm a staunch Muslim. We get along, and we are both surprised how similar our teachings are as a Christian and as a Muslim. If you go deep down, it's the same thing. We are following the same creator.
Good and bad. You should always do good. Let's talk about this machine.
This is one of these projects that I've been telling you about, meaning the idea was, what I did is I managed to get Mitumba, just a second-hand engine, and the parts, the suspension, not suspensions, the drive shafts, arms, and diff, and so on. I thought, can I make this into a car? And I took a lot of time.
When was this?
Some years ago. Unfortunately, my dream was, I wanted to build a structure like a pipe walk, which is like a roll cage, so a very strong car, handling very well for the road, very fast. Then I had wanted to join this, get some university students and whatnot, and together we create here a skin for it, so it looks like a nice sports car. Unfortunately, I've managed to get it running, but it looks ugly because it's without the skin, it is without the skin. Let me just show you.
Yes. So
our door is like this. It opens like a Ferrari gullwing.
And it quite looks like a Ferrari, the car itself. The shells of the car.
Let's just get it out from here so we can have a better look.
Wow, that's a powerful engine right there.
So you can actually see, it's basically, I just took an engine, I made a frame of steel, but if you look at the shape, the idea is we were actually going to try and make a sports car with a wing on the back, 2 doors. If I can put a nice looking skin on it, it would look like a nice sports car.
That expertise, where did it come from exactly?
ever since I was very little, I wanted to race. That time the dream was Safari Rally. It was the big thing. Then resources, family resources were not enough. And it was a struggle just to get to university, to get through and so on. So I had to wait until I qualified and started working. And when I started working, my salary as a graduate was 3,500 shillings. So 3,500 or 600, somewhere there. And you can imagine in those days, even to find a decent rally car was very difficult. So I struggled a lot. And I wanted to rally. Family was telling me, no, this is not for us. It is for rich people. I said, no, I want to rally. Many, many years of struggle later, I was Kenya champion. But the difficulty was not being able to afford to buy what I needed. So automatically, I was improvising.
Tumewashindia wazee wote kuambia bado tuko na bei.
I can see you have a number of cars here. Maybe you can tell us, starting from the rustiest, I think, in the jacket. We can start from the other side.
I mean, it's a bit like history, like this one.
Yes.
I did the Africa Championship with this car. This is a Daewoo back in '96. And since then, I had built it with my own hands again, and you tend to fall in love with it. You don't easily want to dispose of it. So I've used it for training. A lot of people I have helped to learn rallying and to come up in rallying. I've run training weekends, and I use this as a demo car to let people know that, look, you don't have to get that expensive WRX or whatever. You can even build a Daewoo, and it can still go quite fast. I mean, to come second in the Africa Championship with a standard Daewoo 1500cc, 85 horsepower.
That's huge. That's
against the 300 horsepower cars.
That's huge. Back in the day, when growing up, we used to hear more about Safari Rally, especially Good Friday, that weekend, Easter weekend. Maybe how was it rallying in the terrains, in those kind of terrains? How was it?
I tell you, that safari was like a dream. It was so huge, so exciting for Kenya as a nation that, the safari would come, Easter would come, and the feeling and the tempo in Kenya would change. You could not think that you'd be driving somewhere and people are not aware that the safari is on. Like nowadays, when the safari is on, we are scared when we are driving that maybe we will come across public and they are not expecting us to come at that speed. But in those old days, the whole of Kenya, including in the remotest parts, little children, school children, everybody knew Safari Rally, and it's passing here today. And they would be there day or night, on the roads watching us. And I mean, it was tough. It was tough. My first safari in 1981 was about over 5,500 kilometers. Just over Easter weekend. We were driving day and night, and it was not like these days, it has rained a little bit, cancel the section. No,
you drive.
We were, if it is flooded, if it is whatever, they just wait for you. You find your way through, whether it takes you 1 hour or 5 hours. You find it. You struggle and come.
Yeah, that car there.
Oh, this is a magic car. I tell you, again, same concept. That's a Subaru Leone pickup. Okay, it's, I don't know what, about 40 years old. But we took the body, and my son did that, Shaza. We bought again from Mitumba here, Forester engine and wiring and things like that. And we have made that pickup into a monster. That is 260 horsepower, I think.
Oh.
Forester turbo engine, full-time four-wheel drive, with the big brakes of Forester and so on. And but again, at a budget. And we proved it in a few years ago. Him and Job Jiru, they did the full Kenya Championship with this. And they were the only car to drive to every event, not going on a trailer or a lorry or whatever. Drive all the way, do the whole rally, finished every single rally. And we won Division 3, the beginners division, with this car.
Whoa. You build cars from scratch, you still build them from scratch. But what else do you do?
Okay, that skill and that I have developed over the years with cars, I've realized the biggest problem for safety on our roads and for cars to last is actually good suspensions. So I've spent about 5 years now developing my own brand of heavy-duty suspensions, not only for rallying, but even for people who do a lot of traveling on rough roads. Let's say the tourist vehicles, contractors, maybe anybody who's often traveling and they want to go quickly. So the brand is called Accelerate, and I've only been marketing just over a year, but very, very good response. I mean, that 5 years of investment developing to get the shock right was worth it. They're not very expensive. They're comparable to any other heavy-duty shock, but they are working, in my opinion, and from the feedback from customers, far better than that.
If you're not a rally driver, what other sport would you have gotten into?
Before I started rallying while I was in school, I used to cycle. I used to race as well. I won some cycling races. When I came to university in Nairobi, I did a very odd, unusual sport, which was boxing. I'm a gold medalist in the 90s.
So you can box?
Inter-university games. That was like 50 years ago, huh? 40.
I almost gave you gloves to spar.
No problem, let's go.
Yes.
So then I love spending time out in the countryside. Mountain climbing, I have been up Mount Kilimanjaro, up Mount Kenya, we've gone camping, we've gone to the national parks. My children have literally grown up camping in national parks and in wild areas, and they're totally at home in the bush.
You'll agree with me that rallying is not as it used to be back in the day.
Definitely.
What can you do?
It's very simple. First, there is a misconception across the nation. And the misconception is very simple. Safari Rally was ours. It doesn't belong to anybody. We've not lost it. We still have it. We can run it tomorrow if we want. It's Kenyan. And what does Safari Rally mean to you, to the general public? Safari Rally means Easter, over Easter, a very tough, long rally, a marathon. Now, the mistake is most people talking about this thing of trying to regain that glory are missing that point. They're talking of WRC. What does WRC mean? WRC is World Rally Championship, meaning one of a series of events. Therefore, it cannot be over Easter, it cannot be long, it cannot be a marathon. Those are two completely different things. We can chase a World WRC, yes, let us get a WRC, I don't mind. But don't mix it with Safari Rally. Safari Rally should be over Easter, it should be long, and it should be tough. And that is what will make it famous again.
Hashtag KTN Life and Style, keep the conversation going. We are with Azza Anwar, one of the rally legends here in the country. We'll go to another area where he's going to show us more about his life. So
if you look at it, you see
you developed it from scratch.
How solid it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my own registered brand. Yeah. The part numbers are specific to me. To me, when I read this, I know exactly what type of shock it is, what sort of work it can do, which car it suits for, and so on. Now, the difference with our suspension is if you come to me and say, I want a suspension for a Land Cruiser, I have to interview you because these are customized. I have to know how are you going to use it, how much have you raised your car, does it have different springs, how much extra load do you have on it in terms of roof rack, bull bar, this and that. Then I have 6 different types of shocks from which we have to select. Say, okay, this is what suits you. That is what is special about Accelerate. Yeah, customized, but at ordinary price.
How available are they in the market?
Easily available. Anybody who wants them, we have them. And little by little, we are getting dealers across the country. Yeah, but you know, we cannot sell them through shops. It's a very technical thing. So it has to be someone who understands those technicalities. So they don't fit a wrong shock in the wrong place. Then of course it will not give you that quality performance that I want.
Kenya has become a driving nation, and maybe looking into that camera, maybe you'll tell a car owner out there, maybe who wants to have this shock because it's made for Africa, as you say.
Definitely.
By an African, as Anwar himself. How can they reach you to get this shock?
You can look up my contact on in Facebook, Accelerate, look it up. We have a website, and our our workshop is next to Nairobi Hospital, which is the main fitting center where we do the more technical type of work. Actually now a growing range of people who are already using them, some of the tourism companies and so on. We can give you their names, you can get testimonials from them as to how they are performing. And actually I always look for a challenge. So if you have something that doesn't work, you'll find me very keen to make it work.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can't get shocks for your car or whatever. Okay, it's not good for making money, but you know, that challenge and that satisfaction of having sorted it out is what makes me tick. Yes. This is my baby.
This one?
Yes, my personal car.
Tell us about this car.
You'll not believe it actually didn't come into Kenya as a complete car. It came in pieces because when I was rallying my Evo 6 and I had sponsorship from Cancel, we went looking for spare parts overseas and we couldn't get everything we needed. So in the end we bought a complete car. We dismantled it and brought the spares here because the safari was just around the corner and it would take too long to ship. And then the body was shipped. Yeah. Then the car was not running for many years while I rallied with the Evo 6. It was just spare parts. Yeah. When I stopped rallying with the Evo 6, the spares which I had used, I looked for them and I made the car again. And we painted this in our workshop, which is Orthodox, 12 years ago.
Oh, it doesn't
This sticker and everything, you can see it's fading.
Yeah.
But all this was done by us about 12 years ago.
Wow. KAM, but it still stands out as a KCG, KCH.
Yes, but it's a lovely car. This car is fast because it has been tweaked a little bit. I love it.
That's an Evo 9?
No, it's one of the old Evos. It's actually Evo 6 Tommy Mackin.
Evo 6. Whoa.
Hey Brian, karibu.
Asante sana. You have a lovely.
That's my wife. She is magic when it comes to looking after home, looking after the kids, looking after us, rallying.
You yourself as a man. So
yeah. I mean, it's thanks to her. I think that I've managed to become champion.
Wow.
This is archery.
Now that you brought it up.
Shaza.
Yeah.
But by the way, those guys are I think they are putting me in the shade. Valdez, Shaza, who's currently managing our garage next to Nairobi Hospital, Orthodox. He's also technically a whiz. He was one of those guys who didn't want to sit in class. So we kept trying to tell him, study, bana. He came to the garage. He's 7 times Kenya champion on cross country on quad bikes.
Quad bike.
And this year he's leading the 8th one. So God willing, in a couple of months he will be 8-time champion.
From the way you've explained it, this is a sports family. That culture, how did you instill it?
From the beginning, I encouraged them to study. I took them to school. I encouraged them to go to university, but not push, only encourage. Fortunately, my wife was supportive, so we allowed them to do the kind of sports they want, whatever they liked. You know, whether it is sport or whether it is a profession or whether it is, we spent a lot of time with them going out into the bush and so on. So they were able to develop their skills and talents. And of course, it's only with the blessing of God that it was possible for them to be successful.
Do you have any hobbies?
My life is motorsport. I mean, anything to do with motorsport I live motorsport. So even if I'm not seriously rallying in the Kenya Championship, I'm always thinking about, I'm always trying to look for projects, and I'm always trying to encourage others to help them to improve their way they rally or how they race, even whether it's autocross and so on. I'm doing the autocross championship this year, and thank God I'm leading, even at 62 plus, not young anymore. Really, my life is so busy with all this and supporting my children in whatever they're doing. I mean, I support Shazana for her archery, so I spend some time in archery helping to run the competitions here locally, trying to bring up archery as a sport in Kenya. We're working really hard behind the scenes to do that. Shaza to build up quad biking as competitions here. My younger son is now talking about he wants Kenya to pick up enduro cycling, which is some sort of tough off-road like cycle on bicycles. And he says it doesn't exist here, but it's very popular in other parts of the world. And we hope that that sort of thing will pick up. You know, so wherever there's some opportunity to do something new and to develop something new, we just jump in. Yeah. So I guess that is like a hobby. My life is my hobby. Challenge the young guys to do this.
Oh. I don't think I can do that.
Whatever, rally drivers. You want to beat me? I know.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
That he's phenomenal. He's this person with so many attributes around him, and his love for nature is. Whew.
Yeah, he has a zoo in his home.
That was fascinating.
Yeah, and there's a monkey. In fact, there is a monkey. We didn't catch the monkey. The name, they called it Osama.
Why?
It terrorizes people, apparently, because it comes once in a few, then it gets lost. As in, it's never seen again.
So, wow, okay, but that's pretty impressive, you know, knowing that I used to pay to go to a zoo. What about you?
Apana.
No?
No. As in the only,
Open
I
animal
remember
orphanage
there was a time I was about to go for a trip. Then apparently, your time sijui nilifanyika nili. I made noise. I think I made noise in class. Then I was panicked.
Ukaambiwa, unajua kama ukuenda zoo pengine ulikuwa wale watu wa kucheza na mofara. Unajua mofara zile magari za mabati kwa village.
Actually,
ulikuwa champe?
Nilicheza na gari ya waya.
Really?
Yeah, talking about rally, I used to drive my own car, 555. You remember the 555 on rally
The
cars?
ones that you make with mabati.
Mabati,
Nini?
ya Coco. Hiyo time ilikuwa Coco.
Coco, yeah.
Na ile blue band imechorwa mtoi ameshika mkate hivyo. That was me.
You'd create that from scratch. You know, you and Azanwar have something in common because I've seen him pick up pieces.
Yeah, he
and
picks
create
literally.
something.
He said that he picks like scrap metal. He can pick a chassis, gearbox from any other car. He showed us his creation. He created something from scratch.
That's really beautiful. So, what are the three things that you learned from, you know, having a conversation and seeing his life away from the sport?
One thing I realized about this guy is consistency. This guy, during his career, there's that consistency. There's determination in him because he was determined. Basically, when he was growing up, he told us when he was growing up, he wasn't really that guy who goes along with so many friends as such. But his determination to get whatever he wanted, that was very key.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think, which is very important, is the fact that the guy is humble. He's a legend. You can look at his family. Every member of his family is a sports personality.
Oh, yeah. I heard about the daughter
even
who
the daughter
represented us
Kenya
in the Olympics.
at the Olympics, in archery. Then the son is into quad bikes. The other son is into bicycle. There's a challenge there. He put it in some words. I don't really, how can I put it? The guy, endurance, actually it's called endurance cycling, whereby you cycle downhill. Wow. Not uphill, downhill. The son is into that. So it shows you the kind of family this guy.
It's a sports family right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the feedback on Facebook concerning the feature that we just had. Venta Otieno is saying, wow, he's all-rounded. I love that about Azanwar. Dorcil Otieno, she says, hi, Beyond the Sports, Brian Zuma, I love your shoe game. And, well, let's see what you're doing to girls out there. Sidai is saying, you know what, Azanwar, you are a legend, and that reminds me of Patrick Njiro as well. Mwikali, unajua tu Patrick Njiro peke yake?
I would have asked that.
You would have?
Sindio, Safari Rally is a whole circuit.
Yeah.
You can't only know one person.
I'll ask you about fashion later and we'll see how many names you can
Then I can read SMSs, yeah? And our SMS line, remember, it's 228 40.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And I can read one. Mary, your namesake.
Oh, okay.
Loving the show. Amemuita Bazenga.
Bazenga?
Yeah, Bazenga. Bazenga, I think it means old, legendary.
Okay.
Uyo Bazenga.
Bazenga.
Yeah, so one here. Josephat from Limuru. Thank you for watching. He's saying, I love the show. Beyond the Sport gives me impactful and insightful. Hey, ameandika nini hapa?
Kizungu imekwama.
Kizungu imekwama.
Okay, moving on.
Wacha tuachie hapo. Then maybe the last one.
Okay.
Priscilla from Coast. Loving the show. Hey, si unge comment tu viatu za Mwikali.
Ameandika jina yangu right, eh?
Ameandika Mwikali na.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should do these things, you know.
Yeah, amesema
Zikon points.
I love the shoe. I love the
you.
head.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
At least now nakusaidia, it is brushing off. It is brushing off, so it's a good thing.
That has been Beyond the Sports. We're taking a very short commercial break to Kirudi. Mbona unapiga makofi hivi? Mbona you can't even wait for a formal introduction, Chef Abdallah.
Unaangalia nini hapa chini, Chef?
Brian.
Is it my shoe?
Hebu niwe viatu.
Come on.
How come imefed? Hiyo ni ya mitumba.
Chef, nakwambia hii sasa, unaona?
Mbona imefed already?
Hata mimi naonelea hivyo, naona ni kama ni ya mtumba hii.
Ni ya mitumba hii. Brian.
No?
After all the coaching from this team, na mpaka leo unavaa mitumba.
Chef, nimekuimpact mpaka unavaa kofia leo. For the first time since we launched the show.
Ati all in impact. Hii ni life and style show ni impact. Wenda.
Hivyo basi, Chef Abdallah is ready for you. Don't go too far. We're taking a very short commercial break.